Hello, this is the 242nd edition of Catch of the Day, available on the Branch Talk YouTube channel. Today we're going to continue reading from a book written by Doug Mitchell entitled The Four Carpenters, The Ensign, The Time of Jacob's Trouble, and The First Deliverance. Starting in the mid of page 96, we read, "It is said of those who don't have the experience of allowing God and His truth to become a sanctuary for them, that many among them shall stumble and fall, and be broken, and be snared, and be taken." Isaiah 8:15. We find similar language in Isaiah 28, wherein is described the result of rejecting the unrolling of the scroll. "But the word of the Lord was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken." Isaiah 28, verse 13. From a comparison of those verses, we learn that while the Lord is to be a sanctuary, a valley to which they may flee, for those who follow on with the unrolling of the scroll, those who fail to allow the Lord to be their sanctuary will find themselves caught up in the confederacy. For more on that verse of Isaiah 28, see our study Ezekiel 5, when the siege has ended. The prophecy, Isaiah 8:15, declares that the confederacy will be a snare, a trap, and that many will fall and be taken in it. It will be a fearful trap, and will separate God's people. Thus is the Lord going to test all His people, and let them reveal just how much faith each of them has. In the face of this warning, we must make the necessary preparation, so that we will not fall into the snare. God has clearly forewarned His people so that they will not be taken by surprise. Isaiah 24. In Isaiah 24, we are told that there would be a shaking as of an olive tree, but few men would be left. The confederacy that we are studying this afternoon commences before the loud cry and before the slaughter of Ezekiel 9. It is not the image of the beast, for this association precedes the image of the beast. And the confederacy is formed when the nations are girding themselves for war. Put another way, the confederacy will commence after the sealing and perhaps just before the slaughter of Ezekiel 9. Moreover, it is in the time when the Christian nations are united that the woman Babylon will sit on the 7 heads. Revelation 17:9. Depicting also the union of churches under Babylon. All those who are not expecting the confederacy, but instead are expecting next the reassertion of Rome, the Roman Church supremacy, or the battle of Armageddon or something else, are going to fall into this snare, for it will appear to them harmless, and perhaps even a good thing. But it will be their trap. 13, symbolical code 3:4.9:10. There we find the reason why the saints must flee to the valley created by the Lord's feet, because it is only in that place where they may find shelter from the confederacy that will be brought forth while Babylon will be sitting on the heads, the churches, before she sits on the scarlet-colored beast. That confederacy comes in the time of the Syrians' Sunday laws is apparent from the fact that it commences after the sealing, at which time the wind's Sunday laws will be let loose during the time of Jacob's trouble. We also find that we have been forewarned of the situation so that we will not be taken by surprise. That implies that we will have before us an intelligent understanding of the issues involved in the Confederacy and the means available to us to avoid the trap. The drunkards of Ephraim are going to be caught in the trap because they think that they will be protected from the results of the Confederacy because they have made a covenant with death and are in agreement with hell, have made lies their refuge, and will be trying to hide themselves under falsehoods. They, though, will not be the only ones taken in it. It will also include those who think to protect their independent ministries by linking up with the world, and thus the churches that are united under Babylon, whilst she sits on the heads during the Assyrian period. That includes the nominal Davidian and even branch associations, and also those who profess to believe those messages, yet who are walking independently of any association. Since the 1970s, Senator Edward Kennedy and others were trying to pass a national health program that was a hybrid cross between capitalistic Christianity and Marxism or socialism. Within the early forms of the bill were provisions that addressed mental health in relationship to religious beliefs. More recently, President Barack Obama and like-minded supporters have succeeded in passing just such a health act. We are not currently aware as to whether or not it carries the same type of religious thinking provisions as the early forms of the bill did, but it is a relatively small thing to add such a rider to the existing bill. Following is a report of the intent of the original bill in this regard. Bear in mind that many who supported the current legislation did so to honor the late Senator Kennedy by passing that which was one of his foremost legislative goals. Liberal left Kennedy's national health program for years. His principal issue will be implemented by the U.S. Department of Health, Education and Welfare, ruled by the fellow Catholic Californo. What would appear to be a good thing, however, goes beyond physical health care. Notice the National Institute of Mental Health setting forth standards for healthy mental attitudes on religion and moral conduct will parallel the creed of the National Council of Churches. That such concepts as divinity, salvation, liberalism in Bible interpretation will be spelled out as latent signs of actual or potential mental illness. The act would render it totally impossible for any individual religionist or to continue a public ministry outside of the council. The Mercy Religion Supplement, the Master Plan for America. Take care.